Right now, a lot is happening in the 17 countries of this region, called the Middle East. The region has experienced heightened violence since the Hamas attack on Israel. However, the instability in the region predates this event. This region was always an unstable place because of multiple parties fighting for the same land. The instability can be explained through these maps starting from Yemen. Control of the Yemeni territory stands divided between three major players: the internationally recognized government, Houthi rebels, and the separatist Southern Transitional Council. Despite covering just a quarter of the country's land, Iran-aligned Houthis held areas include the vast majority of Yemen's northern population centers, where roughly half of the nation's 32 million people live. The capital, Sana'a, was captured by the Houthis in September 2014, strategic port of Al-Hudaydah in the west, through which about 70% of the country's imports and foreign aid pass, is also controlled by Houthis. On the other hand, the Saudi-backed government controls the country's oil and gas fields in the southern provinces of Marib and Hadramaut, while the STC, supported by the United Arab Emirates, holds the southern economic capital of Aden. As the popular saying goes, it's not the Middle East if there is no oil. Yemen is being looted of billions of dollars of oil per year. Saudi Arabia and UAE have been banking on the profit from selling this oil. In recent months, Houthis have been targeting ships, and coalition forces, which include the United States and United Kingdom, are targeting the Houthi rebels from their bases nearby. The Red Sea is very important for business. It accounts for 12% of world trade, and over $1 trillion worth of goods are transported through it per year. Houthis say they are targeting ships to show support to Palestine, and they despise Israel and USA. Let's move to Lebanon, which also has been very active in the war. Like Yemen, Lebanon is ruled by the government and a terrorist group called Hezbollah. Look at this map. Hezbollah controls these parts of Lebanon. Iran's Revolutionary Guards founded Hezbollah in 1982, in the middle of the Lebanon Civil War in 1995. It was part of Iran's effort to export its Islamic Revolution around the region and fight Israeli forces after their 1982 invasion of Lebanon. Hezbollah boasts weapons including precision rockets and drones and says it can hit all parts of Israel. In 2021, Hezbollah leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah said the group had 100,000 fighters. Iran gives Hezbollah weapons and money. The United States estimates Iran has allocated hundreds of millions of dollars annually in recent years. EU and the USA classify Hezbollah as a terrorist group. Now, let's jump to Syria. Syria is a country that borders Israel. Look at this map. It shows that multiple parties control Syria. Since March 2011, fighting in Syria has killed 465,000 people, injured more than 1 million, and displaced some 12 million people. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad controls about 70% of Syria's territory. The Syrian government is politically and militarily supported by Iran and Russia. Lebanese Hezbollah group and the Syrian-based Palestinian group PFLP-GC also actively support the government. On the other hand, the Kurdish groups are mostly involved in battles with ISIL and government forces. The Kurdish forces are broadly called QSD or SDF forces. The Kurdish forces have been fighting for an independent Kurdistan for over a century. Look at this. This is Iran. Iran is the only country whose executives do not control the armed forces. So the question is, who is in control? Iran's government is controlled by two figures, the Supreme Leader and the President. The Supreme Leader is more powerful, directly controlling security, defense, and foreign affairs. The Supreme Leader also appoints the Supreme Commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. Remember Qasem Soleimani, the guy that was assassinated by the US. He was appointed by the Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei. This graphic explains the political structure in Iran. Iran's Supreme Leader is elected by the Assembly of Experts. The Assembly of Experts elects the Supreme Leader from within their own ranks. Moreover, the Assembly has never been known to challenge any of the Supreme Leader's decisions. And the reason is that the Assembly of Experts is elected by the voters, but the people who can run for the Assembly are approved directly or indirectly by the Supreme Leader himself. Now, the last country on the list is Iraq. Iraq is also ruled by multiple parties. Look at this map. Most of Iraq is governed by the internationally recognized government. Abdul Latif Rashid became the 9th president of Iraq in 2022. Iraq has a political system that gives broad autonomy to regions and governorates. Regions are also given additional powers, such as control of internal security forces. The other two big parties are Kurdish forces, or Peshmerga, and ISIL, which stands for Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. It is also known as ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Iran and Iraq are close allies and have strong political, economic and cultural ties. The two countries also have religious exchanges and no visa requirements. The relationship is strong in part because both governments are dominated by Shia Muslims. Now you must be thinking that we are confused, but here is a simple graphic to summarize everything. I am thinking of making my next video on the topic of why most Middle Eastern countries despise Israel. Comment down below if you are curious about it.